Hello vloggers, hello vlogski, how are we all doing on fabulous Tuesday? It's half term and we've been having a little wee bit of sunshine, so I've just come out with my youngest to stretch the legs. But I realised I hadn't recorded last week for the vlog, and I'm going to tell you why, because you understand. So, first of all, I hope you loved the Adventures in Marketing vlog. So much value in that vlog. If you haven't watched it yet, go and check it out. That week was all about visibility for me. It was all about getting out to an event. I was hosting a mastermind table and obviously connecting with people. So the priority that week was to meet as many people as possible, network with as many people as possible, tell as many people as possible about the Class Business Awards, because that's what I'm championing right now, and making those connections. So visibility was the strategy that week. And then when I came back, I had a week. So last week and pretty much into this week as well, I've been knee deep in tech, building websites. Favorite task to do: websites, landing pages, course portals, because we're getting ready to officially launch the Class Business Awards. Like, we are now ready to open up nominations. So in today's vlog, I wanted to cover 3 different things that have been going on over the past week and a half. And it's a bit boring. It's the boring stuff, which is why I probably didn't vlog each day last week, because all you would have got is me sat at my desk looking at website. And that wouldn't have been much fun for you. So I'm going to go over those 3 things that I've been focused on for the last week and a half. And I'm just going to talk about what's been happening. And then obviously you can think about how this relates to your business. How it can relate to your business. So we all have to do boring work at some point. Like, when we run our businesses, we have these amazing ideas and energy around what we're building, and we're excited to do it. And when I look at the plan of what I want to build this year, I am so excited about what I'm building. However, a lot of it is boring work because it's all tech, systems, processes, procedures. But the boring work still has to be done, even when we don't want to do it. Even when we don't want to do it. So for the last week, we have been building a new website. So basically, I made a decision to invest in a brand new website for the Class Business Academy. And so we had somewhere that we were going to host the Class Business Awards, because I already have an existing website, which is my Children's Activity Business Club website. And I didn't want the site to be overrun with this project, because it's massive. And really, the awards needs its own platform. So I appointed the amazing Claudia from Super Simple Websites, who is a partner sponsor with us in the awards this year. But she built my first website, and she's built lots of other client websites, so I trust her in the process. So we set about building, mapping out all of the structure of the site before Christmas. And then she's been working on the back end of the structure. And then this last week is when I got access to the actual site, the back end of the site, so I can start making all my changes and edits. So we've been basically, when you're going through a site, you've got to snag the whole site. So we've been looking at the copy, looking at the images, the photography, the buttons, where do people go? And obviously you want to make the website as easy as possible for people to navigate. So I've been working on all of that, then connecting it up to landing pages, because we had the separate landing page built for the awards, as I told you about. We've got a sponsorship page. It's where we sell our tickets, etc. So I'm having to bridge 2 platforms together, because I didn't want to repeat a site that, recreate it. I didn't need to. We've already been building all of that. So the job was to connect everything up in the right order and just making sure the flow of the site really, really works. So I spent, and I'm not joking, about 10 hours doing that yesterday, going through every single thing, giving feedback to Claudia on all the things that needs to be changed and edited, so we can get this site live in the next week or so. Because yesterday I announced that the awards nomination process will open from the 27th of February at 5 p.m. So I'm hosting a Facebook Live because I thought it'd be really good to host a live event on there, get everyone really excited, tell them what's involved, what's happening, all the categories that are available to enter, shout out to our sponsors. So I'm going to do a live event. So I had to when you need to put a nail in the ground and go, right, that's the date to pick towards, because you need a deadline to work towards. So now we need to get that site live before then. I mean, it's not going to stop us launching, because we can still launch anyway, because the landing page is already done. But ideally, I want the site live and ready to go by the 27th. So we've got about a week and a half to turn that around. So Claudia's going to be finishing that off for me. So that was quite a lot of work involved in building tech, doing all techie stuff. Then we also started the process of recruiting for judges. So we need a team of about 20 to 25 judges for the awards. And me and Emma Hewitt have been working on the judges pack. And then last week we were like, okay, we're ready to go. So she's already started to outreach to her contacts and her network. And then I started putting some feelers out to contacts in my network via LinkedIn and on my personal Facebook page. So that was great, because we had a whole flood of people who were interested, and really a mixture of different people, because we're looking for people with business experience. We're not looking for people who just have experience in the niche. We want business in general. So yeah, I've had accountants, someone that actually runs funeral plans, all sorts of people. So that was good. So we've kicked off that process, and Emma's in the middle of onboarding them, because it's not as simple as just, I'll be a judge, and oh yeah, you can come on board. It doesn't work like that. First of all, there's a pack that tells them all their obligations of everything they've got to do, what they've got to commit to, the amount of time they need to commit to. They've got to sign an agreement. So there's all that part of onboarding. And they need to be the right people, because we want people who are going to extend our network, get us in front of more audiences, because we want to obviously champion the Class Business Awards. So it needs to be people who can who can help us get in front of more people. And also it needs to be people who understand awards and why awards are great for business. So yeah, I've had some really, really great conversations with people that are interested in doing it. And plus also, me and Emma were really keen to make sure that the judging process was as simple and easy and smooth as possible, because I've judged awards in the past, and sometimes they can, one took me up to 15 hours, other ones was just ridiculous, just judge them on the title of the award. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Anyway, so that's not happening on my awards. So we've worked really hard to make sure we've got the judging working really working correctly, and that we bring in the right people who are committed to the awards process, and of people who can get us extended audience, because we want to reach new people. So that's been a really interesting exercise to do last week. So we've kicked that process off. And then the third thing I've been working on was actually more than that, but we'll talk about the third thing first, is my personal brand, because obviously 2026 is the year of the personal brand, and I've always been building my personal brand quite strongly for the last 4 years, but I'm really upping my game. So one of the reasons I went to was a mastermind host at the Adventurers and Marketing event was to put me in front of different business owners. So obviously I can champion the Class Business Awards, but also to start extending my network, so I can start looking at talking on stages, because that's the next part of my personal brand build that I want to do, is more interviews on podcasts and more guest speaking. And to do that, you need to start positioning yourself as said expert. So in the past, I've spoken on Club Hub stage, I've spoken at ICAP, I've spoken on various different stages. But in the sector, like in the children's sector, there actually isn't that many stages to talk on. So once you've done them once, don't really want to keep going out and doing the same ones again. You want new stages. So hence one of the reasons I made a decision to build the Class Business Awards. I was like, I'm going to build my own stage. But I want to start talking on other stages. And so there's a couple coming up that I've had the information through that look really good. But the problem I've always had, and this is the bit I've been figuring out this year, is what do I talk about? Because it's quite easy for me to go to industry events and talk about something specific in the niche, marketing, sales, etc. But you can't do that in the business world in general, because there are so many people that can talk about marketing or sales. And so I'm really working hard to build a talk that is engaging, that is relatable, and that will be of benefit to business owners in general. Probably likely service-based business owners in the online space. So I've been figuring that out. And one of the reasons that I'm building the Class Business Academy and the awards this year is to show how you can build an ecosystem for your business. And that's why I'm going all in on content creation with the podcast, with all the interviews I'm doing, why I'm vlogging, etc. is so I can show people that if you want to get to a next level, this is what you can do. This is how events can do it for you, and how you can use an event to feed your whole ecosystem for your business and not just a one-off thing. And basically, I'm proving it this year. And the plan is that if I deliver the plan of what I said I'm going to do, that'll be the catalyst of what I can use to go and talk on stages about. There we go, my friends, bingo. And so I've just got to figure out the pitch, because now I want to start pitching to people what I want to talk about, probably for 2027. So this is all about building the Class Business platform, building the awards, building the academy, building my team, creating this content machine that's the YouTube channel, so that I have the catalyst to move forward in 2027. That's the game I'm playing. And it's a tough game. Which brings me on to point 4. And this will be relatable to all of you guys watching this. I literally on Sunday, I applied for a Women Who Awards. It was recommended to me that I should apply, and I was like, okay, let me have a look here. And it was a lot of questions. However, I'd already done a lot of the work. I had reviewed already last year, so I knew exactly what I'd delivered last year. And I already knew what I was building this year. So actually it was quite easy for me to answer the questions. And that's the key, I believe, to success. I have a strategy mapped out for this year. I have a plan that's mapped out for this year. I know what I need to do, and I know what all the moving pieces are. I just have to execute. Now, there's days that I've just been like, what the chuff have I done? like me and my husband were chatting about it on Sunday. I was like, what have I done? Because I'm basically building a whole new business alongside trying to run an existing business. And I've only got limited resources, me and a small team, to do it. And so the task is absolutely huge. And then one of the vlogs, I spoke about being overwhelmed because of the amount of and that's just the content angle, let alone everything else that we're building around it. It's absolutely huge. However, I've got a plan, and I just have to follow the plan, because I believe that if I follow the plan, it's going to compound over the next 12 months, and it's going to put me in the position I want to be in for 2027. And if you've always done the same things, you're going to get the same results. And I knew that if I did the same as I'd done in 2025, I was going to get the same results this year, and that couldn't happen. I needed to up my game, so to speak. But my point is, like, there have been days where I've just been like, what the chuff have I done? This is hard. Why have I done it? Maybe I should have just stuck to what I was doing before. That's all the mind monkeys coming out to play. And I have to tell myself, follow the plan. Like, you have to say, fuck the mood and follow the plan. So, sorry guys, I don't swear on camera, but that's basically it. It's like, regardless of how I feel, if I feel tired, if I feel upset, if I feel emotional, if I feel like, oh my God, why have I actually done all this stuff? I just have to follow the plan. And this is why I believe I've had the success that I've had in the last 4 years. And I have had success compared to a lot of online business owners who haven't had the same success, like, as in such a short space as I've had. It's because I have a plan and I just follow it and I don't deviate from it. If it tells me to do X, Y, and Z, I do it. And that involves spending, at the minute, hours checking websites, checking things link up, like building portals, like all that stuff. Who wants to do any of that? I don't want to do it. But it's got to be done because I haven't got the resources to just employ people left, right and centre to get them to do it for me. I've got to do it myself. And I suppose that's the message for you watching this vlog this week is, have you got your plan mapped out for 2026? Do you know what the strategy is? Do you know the activities you need to do? Because if you do, then you just follow the plan. And if you haven't, this is why people just bob along. And I knew I couldn't have a year of bobbing along. I could have quite easily bobbed, quite easily. But I knew that wasn't what I was meant to be doing. I needed to be building. And so that's the message. Follow the plan, bugger the mood. Even if you don't want to do it, you just got to get up and do the work. That's what it is, do the work. So on that note, I'm going to close this vlog. It's a short one, but the 3 points were, it was systems, processes, procedures take time. You've got to sit there and do the boring work. Number 2 was around me, I can't even remember, building personal brand, doing all the other work. And now I'm rambling. Right, I'm going to close off this vlog. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the walk, and yeah, get back onto building the Class Business Awards.